Hello, my name is Brandon Givens. There are a lot of things I like to do, from skateboarding to chilling with my friends. But one of the things that's recently has me addicted is watching the UFC. The UFC is an organization that organizes fights, just like boxing, just like any other sports. They organize fights. Now these aren't fights just between two Joe Schmoes or people that they can find off the streets. These are fights between fighters that are very skilled in different techniques of mixed martial arts. Not just martial arts, mixed martial arts. Now, mixed martial arts is constructed of three main foundations of things. One being striking. Striking, of course, is the punches, the elbows, the knees, the kicks, basically anything that connects a body part to the other person's face or any other body part you choose. Now, striking, of course, leads to knockouts. Knockouts are the money shot. The money shot. Just like a dunk is the money shot in the NBA. Everybody is looking for the knockout. And another big factor, foundation of the UFC and mixed martial arts in general would be wrestling. Wrestling is another thing. Now, wrestling is something that is not unfamiliar to most people, being that it is taught in different schools, high schools, junior highs. It's even making its way down to elementary now. So the young people are trying to learn it too. Now, that's a good foundation of things. That has to do more with getting your opponent to the ground, figuring out ways to take them off their balance and get them to the ground. Now, once you're to the ground, you get to the last main foundation of mixed martial arts, which is jiu-jitsu. Now, jiu-jitsu, as fancy as a name as it is simply working different techniques to basically bend body parts, whether it's your legs or your arms, bend body parts to the point where the person can't take it. They can't, their arm can't go this way. They can't take it, so they have to tap out. That's that's jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu leads to submissions. That's when the person taps out. Now, those are the three foundations of mixed martial arts. The great thing about knowing all three is that it leads to some amazing things. And it gives fighters different weapons, because they're not actually using weapons. There's no swords, no javelins. These aren't the gladiator days, and they don't have to fight cheetahs either. It's not like that. It's between two skilled mixed martial artists. And the thing is, as good as it is, it's also difficult because now you have three things to worry about. You have three different things that he can take you out with. And that's what makes these fights so interesting. And that's why it's grossing crazy numbers of people watching it, because there's so much to it. Now, a person who may not be a fan, who may just tune in for the first time, may see the sport as barbaric because people, some people are not too fond of seeing other people being knocked out or getting punched and things like that. And when you really get to watch the sport, you begin to understand that it's more than just somebody being knocked out and somebody being kicked in the face or somebody being submitted or tapping out. It's more than that. It's an art form. Just like with art, you get to express yourself. Just like with basketball, you get to express your techniques, your jump shots, your 3 points, and your dunks. This, you express your skills in different areas of mixed martial arts. Now, just because, it's organized does not mean it doesn't come with some controversy. Most things, almost anything, is going to come with some form of controversy. Skateboarding has controversy. The NFL has controversy. The NBA, as big as that is, has controversy. So the UFC is not an organization that comes without it. Now, the controversy is that it's too violent. People think that it's too violent. People are getting knocked out. It's too violent. People have been saying the same things about boxing year after year after year. And Floyd Mayweather, one of the stars of boxing, is still making billions of millions, cajillions. His numbers don't stop. And that sport's been going on. But again, being that the UFC is a pretty new organization starting in 1993, it comes with controversy. And one of the places in the world that has taken most offense to the violence that they say is New York. New York, when you think of New York, there's a lot to think of. Jay-Z, Madison Square Garden, Times Square. You know, a lot of people say if you haven't made it in New York, you haven't made it anywhere. So the UFC is one of the places that New York is one of the organizations. Pardon me, is one of the organizations that's not allowed in New York. The mayor believes that the sport is way too violent. If I could quote him, he said that the UFC runs in the same line as crack dealers and prostitution, which to me doesn't make any sense. I believe that the sport is very, very organized, and for somebody who tunes into it and really watches it, they would understand that it's more than just violence. It's more than just people getting knocked out. These people are volunteering their time. This is a job to them. This is a very, very important job to them. And if you watch, you begin to understand that. But New York is definitely one of the places that is just not budging when it comes to the UFC coming to New York, which is a big deal. It's been all over the place. It's been in Brazil. It's been in Sydney. It's been in Russia. It's going to Ontario this year. So it's spreading. But New York happens to be the one place that just is not allowing it. But again, that has not stopped the UFC from growing in fans. A number was said that the UFC grossed $75 million in Las Vegas last year. $75 million in Las Vegas, Sin City. Now, could you imagine how much money New York would get if they were to allow the UFC to come there? So the UFC is it's more than people fighting. It's about, expressing your technique. It's about doing what you love in front of millions and millions of people. It's entertaining to me because I understand, as somebody who used to do martial arts, everything that goes into it. And I'm a fan. I'll always be a fan. And it's definitely something that has me, watching every week. I'm waiting for the next fight. And it's very important to me. I love it. And you should check it out. It's really fun to watch. All right. Thanks for listening. I'm Brandon Givens.